Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do another tier list movie series ranking. This time I'm doing the Exorcist series, so let's do it. So, I don't think there's going to be any debate over what's going to be number one. Anyone who thinks differently is wrong. Normally, I'm open to other people's opinions, but I think in this one, no one's going to argue. Uh, Exorcist 2. It's an interesting one because you could almost say that objectively, it's a pretty terrible movie. At the same time, it's almost so bizarre and wacky that I think it's has some value in just its what the hell kind of shock value. The first time I saw it, it was on TV and I was turning channels and I came across it and I watched the scene where near the beginning where Reagan and the doctor are using the that like hypnotist machine where they can sync minds, which is a ridiculous invention on its own. It's not a real thing, obviously. But that aside, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I fell asleep and missed the rest of the movie. And years later, I got a chance to watch it again, and I was excited for it, only to realize the movie just goes off in so many strange directions that it's just fucked, for lack of a better word. But I don't know. Where would I put it? Maybe I'll put it in fourth spot. Actually, no, I'll probably put it fourth for now. I watch it again every once in a while. It's almost like I can't remember if it's really as bad as I remember, and then I watch it and then I realize that it is. And I don't know. There are people out there that think it's better than the original. I've heard that. Was it Quentin Tarantino or someone like some famous director said that this one's actually better. I can not say that's true. It's definitely not true, but sometimes it's worth watching just to see how weird it is. Exorcist 3, I'd probably put that as the second best one. It's actually really good. Although I hate they shot an original ending and then it didn't have an exorcism in it. And then the studio was like, we can't have a movie called The Exorcist without an exorcism. So they had to go and shoot this stupid ending to it, which I hate. And then they released like the director's cut that had the original ending, and it's so much better. It's like actually really cool. It doesn't have the stupid exorcism at the end. It doesn't get way too over the top. It just ends with Kinderman going back and shooting the guy in his prison cell, the possessed guy. The Exorcist 3 is very weird. Anyone that, well, I wouldn't say very weird, but especially the part where he's interviewing Karis, who's possessed by the Gemini killer, and they shot it with two different actors, the original guy that played Karis in the first movie, and then with Brad Dourif. So all of a sudden, halfway through the scene, the actor switches. And when I saw it as a teenager, I was like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand this. This is so weird. It was kind of hard to follow. But if you watch the movie a few times, like, you start to realize like there's a lot of good stuff in there. It's actually kind of scary. I imagine that it would really disturb someone that is disturbed by horror movies. Obviously, I watch them all the time, so I'm not ever really disturbed by them. But someone who would find this pretty scary. There's of course the infamous scene in the hospital hallway where the guy comes out, the guy dressed in white comes out with the big shears and cuts that girl's head off. Like that's pretty well executed. So overall, it's a good movie, and the series redeemed itself somewhat from the horror that was Exorcist 2. However, from then on, yeah, what didn't go so well. And I'm actually going to move this one down because I think I like both prequels better than Exorcist 2. So I guess the choice is which do I like better? I'll put them both here for now. Um, so yeah, they made two movies that were basically the same story with the same actor. They made one, the studio hated it, so they made another, and they hated that one too, and they both bombed. So now we have one called Dominion, prequel to the Exorcist, and we have another one called Exorcist: The Beginning. Exorcist: The Beginning is directed by Rennie Harlin. He did Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Die Hard 2, among other movies. So he's more of like a action director, and the movie reflects that. It's more over the top, as I keep saying. The prequel was just a bit slower paced, and I don't know if they just ran out of money on Dominion. They ran out of money to do good special effects because they have like CGI hyenas and stuff, which are just so shitty looking. It's really hard to get past that. But it's hard to pick. I might have to. Yeah, might have to put Dominion second. Yeah, it's hard to say. I like them about equal. And they did switch the person that was possessed. In one of them, it was a little boy. And then the other one, I know they were trying to just not do the same thing over again. So they switched it. And it looked like it was going to be the little boy, but it turned out to be the woman, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. But they're honestly not bad movies. A lot of people shit on them for being terrible. They're not that bad. I throw them on every once in a while, and it's, they're decent. It's just every time you make an Exorcist movie, you're going to be comparing it to the original, and no movie will ever stand up for the rest of time compared to the original. I mean, no Exorcist movie. So there's kind of no point. You just have to take it on its own and ask, is this any good? And I quite like them. And comparing movies to the original Exorcist brings us to The Exorcist Believer. And I'm pretty sure everyone watching will agree that it goes dead last. One of my recent videos was a detailed hour and a half long deep dive into why this movie sucks, and I just go through and I really break down each part of like why I hate it and my thoughts on it. And I even say, like, I almost wish it was worse. Like, if you're gonna suck, at least have the balls to just try something crazy like Exorcist 2. Like, Exorcist Believer was just so plain. Like, they just played it so safe. There wasn't like a second in there, I think, that we hadn't seen before. It's just rehashing other elements from other exorcism movies. It just seems like if you've seen a possession movie on Netflix or whatever, just some cheap movie, this is on that level. It's like you've seen it all before. It's just like, hey, some girl's possessed and she's talking in a deep, gravelly voice, and her hair's all messed up, and she's always wearing like a white dress, a white nightgown. It's all just the things we've seen before. They always start floating at some point. So it's like, okay, now they make a movie called The Exorcist. They spend $400 million, the studio did, getting the rights. Heaven forbid they try something different. But they're like, no, we have to try to predict exactly what audiences want, and we cannot deviate from that. We can't even try something slightly original because people might not understand. They just take us for idiots, and then they make this. And they try to be profound with all the talk about the nature of evil and all this other bullshit. And the movie was just kind of dull. It was such a disappointment. It was such a disappointment to everyone that they pulled the plug on the 2 sequels. Obviously, they spent money on it, so they're going to do something. There's going to be some sort of sequel to this or another Exorcist movie, no doubt. I haven't been keeping up with the latest news, but yeah, I don't have high hopes for it. Anyways, this is my list here. So thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know if you have any different opinions or would put these in a different order, and let me know if there's any other series you want me to rank, and I'll see everyone next time.